Hey, what's up, everybody? The VC here, coming back at you with another video about anything and everything. Nothing's off the table. I'm off the cuff, and that's all about. I know what you guys are thinking, so that's why I'm here to express what you guys are thinking, and that's what we were here for. So let's just get to it here. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, that way you can stay on top of everything we got going on the daily here. All right, I don't leave any stones unturned. And subscribe. All right, like I said, I'm on Rumble, I'm on YouTube. Wherever is more convenient, hit them both. That way, you don't miss a beat with what I put out daily. And thank you for the support. So with that, I wanted to continue the conversation that we had going on yesterday. I know that it was all the big I guess you could say a showcase showdown with Zelenskyy and Trump is the news that I covered yesterday, or was the news I covered yesterday. And so I wanted to continue that because yesterday it was more or less kind of laying the groundwork of what led to this like heated argument with Zelenskyy, Trump, and J.D. Vance, and really how Trump just kind of put it out there that, man, you're not really being thankful and you're being kind of demanding for being a little pissant country. And for a pissant country to be a little bit demanding for who you are and what you guys are, it's like, we don't need you. And you're almost like demanding like security protection and all that stuff. And it's like, Trump just kind of made it clear, hey, you know what? You guys got no standing to act like, you deserve anything, and you got nothing coming for you. All right? So that's the line that Trump was trying to draw in the sand here, that, hey, you guys got nothing coming for you. If you want to act like you're entitled and that you deserve everything that you get coming, no. We're not about that, all right? Plus, how about this? If you need all that help and you need all that security, won't Europe step up for a change? Because why do we got to be the suppliers of everything for you, Zelenskyy? Right? Supply the weapons, supply the money. Shit, without our weapons and money, they would have been steamrolled right now. And I'm all for Russia steamrolling through Ukraine and just finish up the business, all right? I'm all for that. I know it's not a popular opinion, but that's what I'm all for, all right? Yeah, so Zelenskyy branded a fool after Oval Office meeting, because after that heated exchange, when they were supposed to have this agreement about the whole mineral stuff that went way out of whack, Zelenskyy got kicked out and said, come back to me when you're ready to talk business, all right? And that's what happened there. Pretty funny stuff about what happened there. So, what I wanted to do is, now here's the aftermath. I talked about how Trump and the argument, all that stuff. Zelenskyy left, and this is an interview that I'm going to play this back pretty much from the beginning. And Brett Baer of Fox News brought Zelenskyy on as a guest just to answer some questions, since he's here to visit, answer some questions. And one thing we already talked about, but I wanted to play it again just to be so it's fresh, is that Zelenskyy didn't sound apologetic at all about what happened. Or even, he said, yeah, I thank you, I'm thankful, but wasn't apologetic for disrespecting the President of the United States. And so, and here's the thing too, all right? Democrats will come out and say, oh, it's a travesty how Trump just treated Zelenskyy, right? Because Democrats right now are just looking for anything to try to just get under Trump's skin, because they can't find nothing right now to really dig into. And now they're trying to say, oh, poor Zelenskyy. That's what Democrats are doing right now. And then, of course, you have all these European nations saying, we support Zelenskyy. All right, well, if you support Zelenskyy, then go ahead and take care of him while we bow out of Ukraine, all right? Let's see how that'll work for you. So let's take a look at this interview on the aftermath of their heated exchange, and then Zelenskyy getting booted out of the White House. Let's take a look here.
To continue to do this interview, President Trump said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the Vice President and all of America in the Oval Office. Do you think you did, and do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and good evening to all your country, to all Americans. I'm very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress.
He says thank you now after being told about not being thankful. Plus, I think his handlers or his people, whatever it is, probably say, hey, maybe you should think about being thankful about all this, you know? Maybe just put that thought in his head.
Bipartisan support, and I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale invasion. You helped us to survive, and anyway, we are strategic partners, and even in such tough dialogue. And I think we have to be very honest, and we have to be very direct to understand each other, because it's for us very necessary to President Trump, and I'm with all respect that he wants to finish this war, but nobody wants to finish more than we, because we in Ukraine, we are in this war, we are in this battle, and battle for freedom for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will, and we need to pressure him with Europe, with all the partners. And I think this dialogue had to be a little bit earlier to understand where we are. Like, you know, I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we are speaking about just and lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and you know Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect President, and I respect American people, and if
you know what's funny about like leaders, like presidents in general, they are never apologetic about anything. They'll say everything to like really explain around an apology, but will never apologize for anything. That's why I don't get. You know, it's just odd. And I've noticed that throughout all the leaders in history, that they never say sorry, but they'll say other things, right? Oh, I feel, you know, some kind of way, and they use all these different lines, I noticed. And I don't know if you guys notice the same thing too, but so far I'm not hearing it from Zelenskyy here.
I think that we have to be very open and very honest, and I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things that where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. And I think that is the most important thing.
See, he's
Yes,
kind
we're
of
partners. You know, we're very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be. We have
he's
to be very free.
explaining his way around it.
I'm told that you were told multiple times from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this. And this will be the first step to security guarantees. But it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees, this is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side and that America will stay with us, not with Russians, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step.
I think Trump just wants to be.
Guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose.
I think Trump just wants to just kind of play impartial, but also make a deal, you know, and lay out the groundwork for this peace that will involve, you know, the resources, security that will be tied to the resources, right? Getting the minerals, but not necessarily protect the government of Ukraine itself from Putin and all that. They're just more or less protecting the resource gathering with that security. But at the same time, Europe needs to step it up, because they've been kind of staying back for far too long when they should have been more involved in these last few years. And they should be, as America slowly pulls themselves out.
Them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe, and they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean, this this is not good for both sides anyway. And I very open, but I can't, you know, change our Ukrainian attitude to Russia. And I don't want they kill us for us. You know, this is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, their enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No,
Very fascinating.
I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and we will have.
We've got passion, we've got determination. Like, and if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
The media served Ukrainians well today.
I think this kind of spat is this is not good for both sides anyway. And I very open, but I can't, you know, change our.
I don't know. He wasn't very clear about him not signing a deal with Russia. So that's two things he hasn't really answered. He hasn't answered about apologizing to Trump, being apologetic about this whole thing, and two, he didn't really answer the question about not signing a deal on the table with Russia.
Ukrainian attitude to Russia. and I don't want they're killers for us. You know, this is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, they're enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
Yeah, President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No, I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and
I don't know how it went backwards here.
We will have, anyway, diplomacy. We will have negotiations. I only said that I think so. It's about just and lasting peace. It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations, and at these negotiations, Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So we are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position. What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
He's looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for the invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow. We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees. We raise this topic about NATO,
man.
the quickest way.
Fuck Zelenskyy, man. Screw this guy. How about that?
Are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's my position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States.
Then go ahead, Europe.
Maybe to help, maybe USA.
They're ready to have boots on the ground? All right.
Just to guarantee that they are with the Europeans.
Fuck Zelenskyy, man. You know what? I would just be like, hey, I was trying to be like, hey, guys, U.S., if we got anything there, any assets there, let's just get out of here. Fuck Zelenskyy. We're out of here, all right? We're no more money, no more supplies. Europe got your back. You said Europe got boots on the ground or can bring boots to the ground for you. Go on ahead. Be my guest. Fuck Zelenskyy. I'd be out of there. I'd be done with this shit, man. Screw all this. I wouldn't even deal with him more. I'd be like, you know what? Keep the money that was been given to you. We're gonna just wipe our hands clean, just like this. Go, yeah. Wipe the hands clean.
Europe, it's strong. It became stronger, but they
All
also
right.
want to have allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
Are you looking to start your own business? Look no further than busy.com. Right now, we'll complete your LLC.
Will Ukrainians survive without
A year ago.
Congress support? Of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe. Yeah.
So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
No, they
It will
can't.
be difficult for us. That's why I'm here. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. It will be difficult without your support, but we can't lose our values, our people. We can't lose our freedom. So a lot of people Russians came.
You know, it's funny. They're using the Democrat lines. We can't lose our values. Get the fuck out of here, man. I would just be done with Zelensky, man. With this whole values shit. It sounds like a Democrat to me. Go ahead and get those Europeans, whomever says that they support Zelensky, and go ahead and support and defend Ukraine as we bow out.
To our territory, Russians came to our houses, and everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people just to forget it, just to say that Putin is a great guy. No, without us, we don't want it. That's why we speak about, everybody remembered how it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody wants in Ukraine. Yes, of course, nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why when we say, no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? I'm not pushing, we are not pressuring, we're just asking, we're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much, but let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with our people. Just with our people.
You keep pushing the security guarantee bullshit,
That's
man.
great. We count on it. But just to share it and to say it, that's all.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now.
Okay.
This is our army is the part of security guarantees. Now
Okay.
we want to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy. Yes, with Russia.
I would just say, hey, Russia, steamroll through these guys, man. Fuck them.
I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long. It's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now. For now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States. But with all respect, again, so for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure of security guarantees. And you see that no NATO countries, for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Wow.
So he says you need to consider
Pretty strong words.
resigning. Is that on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I was always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that it's enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not happy with me, okay. But between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukraine. With all respect to Lindsey, if I can say Lindsey, we know each other. Yes.
You know what's funny? They're saying that the way he maneuvered himself into war, even though Russia did attack, he did this to control the regime of the Ukraine government, because while in wartime, obviously you can't have elections and all this other stuff, because he is trying to control and still be president. And I think his time is up, and especially with the elections and all that. And he's kind of just thrown that all aside because, wartime, there's like special, I don't want to say rules, but let's just say rules, all right? Because I can't think of another way to say it. But there's like these sort of rules that say that, you can't hold elections. And you're still going to have this leadership in place while this thing is happening. And he's trying to control everything in that aspect to where he still remains in power. Kind of like what Putin's done. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Kind of like a socialist sort of regime that he's running here. And I think it's fascinating.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut posted
Democrats going to say,
what
poor
just
Zelenskyy.
happened in the Oval Office was
Poor
a planned
Zelenskyy.
ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy. What an embarrassment. Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I mean, I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said your tenor and tone.
It's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say?
It's easy.
When you are in the United States,
he keeps on pressuring
for president, or vice president,
security
or
guarantees.
Or senators. It doesn't matter. Big politicians, yes. When they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not heroes, that Ukraine lost millions of civilians, that his president is dictator, What is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is filling. And that's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said that it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other conversations, and we had in Munich meetings, and I said, please, be correct. I want to be very polite. I mean this, be correct with this number. When you say about the number, each person is important. When you say about 1 million of losses, we don't have any million of losses. When you speak about the territories, maybe some territories and etc., it's not just territory, it's houses, it's people's lives. Their fathers, mother, their relatives, grandfather, they died during this war. Nobody wants to forgive Putin. It's not funny, or fairy tale. This is real life. That's what I said. And when you said it, a lot of times to my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things, I think it's not. That's why I said it's not good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it. And I think that if journalists asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, he has his interview.
Mr.
This
President,
is our dialogue.
Shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this, be behind closed doors, not?
Of course. And
so, do you regret that? Are you regretting
the
that
outburst
today?
Came out of nowhere for some security guarantees.
Yes, I think it was not good. Because
it's no good, but you're not apologetic.
I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly.
I'd be done with Zelenskyy, man. Screw this guy.
Everything correctly. That's
He's
about
trash.
us. Not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind? Here we are today.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much, and we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what parts in security guarantees will take
security
this deal.
Security guarantees.
Just again to understand for our people, during the war, what you don't like, even sometimes hate, surprises. It's understandable. Many terrible things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises. Yes, that's why we want to be very fair with our partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign.
But he won't sit on the table and sign with.
It depends on the American side.
With
so the
Russia.
Minerals deal did not have
Putin.
security guarantees listed in it.
It's a part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump shared that. I think so that if we will be there in some productions and etc. in minerals, that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, I mean this, we respect and we believe in strongness of the United States, but I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine, and we had offices even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American, European company, or Ukraine. It doesn't matter.
Are you going to sit on the table with Putin or not and sign this deal? Come on, man. Guy is he's just annoying now. I'm done with him, all right? I'm just done with him, man. It seems like all he cares about is security guarantee. All right? If I was Trump, I'd be done with it. I'd be like, get the fuck out, man. Keep the money. Whatever you got from us, I'm done with you, all right? I'm out of here. That's what I'd be doing if I was Trump. All right, it's pretty annoying. And, let's look at this here before we go, all right? Because this is a very fascinating take that Peter Doocy talked about here about Zelenskyy.
I swear to God.
That wasn't that long ago.
In the last year because of me sharing.
It wasn't that long ago with... what Zelenskyy was around, doing.
My first day on the White House beat was Joe Biden's first day. I've seen many of these oval sprays. Some of them can be kind of boring. Yesterday, top of the list, most interesting, possibly most consequential.
Yeah.
And this president, Donald Trump, who's been asking federal workers for 5 things that they did last week, all he was asking Zelenskyy was to say thank you. Just say thank you. And he wouldn't do it.
Truly amazing. And it's funny.
He didn't do it until you got to the Brett Baer show.
I keep my texts at 0. That's like the one thing I always clear out are all my texts. But I was in the air. I was flying at the same time. When I landed, I opened up,
So they talk about this heated exchange, and then they're going to play highlights of that heated exchange. I'm going to bypass that because we've covered that already yesterday. So I'm not going to play it again. Let's look at over here. So, Vance slams him for being ungrateful, which is true. I truly believe he wasn't feeling grateful, and he keeps asking for more. Like, I want security guarantees. I want this. I want that. And it's like, dude, you got no room to be demanding things, all right? And we've already done enough. I think it's time to, let's just put this thing and square it away and be done with this bullshit,
The attitude that he had coming into this is fascinating. First of all, let's just talk about that we're even seeing this, that Donald Trump has allowed the curtain to be pulled so that the world can see what an exchange like this looks like. And also see
he got booted from the White
Zelenskyy
House.
is, because he's been sort of propped up as this, George Washington figure, and yet you see the way he acted in here. He literally believes everything the elites and the neocons told him about himself. He didn't seem to realize that USAID actually paid the celebrities who came in to see him. He's believing his own sort of Euro press. And he comes into this meeting with that attitude. And, you know, listen, I saw a lot of alpha male energy coming from Donald Trump, from J.D. Vance, saying, listen.
Apologize.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be. Yes, of course, because it's relations more.
Oh, it has to be. Because if it's not salvaged, then he'll be done sooner than later. I mean, he's done anyways, regardless. He's done. But is it a matter of, is he going to be done sooner or later? If you're going to salvage the relationship with Trump, then you'll be done later. All right.
Then to President is the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress.
Everything that we know about Donald Trump, that's not going to happen. And Donald Trump. Everything that we know about what happened yesterday, Zelenskyy thinks he's going to get a better deal from, that he can get a better deal from Donald Trump by holding out. But based on everything that we know about Donald Trump, that's not going to happen. And these Zelenskyy political geniuses should have told him beforehand that it's possible J.D. Vance or somebody in the room might bring up that he did campaign alongside these Democrats in the 2024 cycle, because there's one person in the world with an encyclopedia in their mind of everybody who ever campaigned with a Democrat or another Republican, and that is Donald Trump. And we've got this video. There they are in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Zelenskyy went to Battleground, PA, with Josh Shapiro, the #1 Harris surrogate for a while once Biden was sidelined, and Bob Casey, who was running, is right there behind him. He lost. And they were watching these missiles that the U.S. was paying for and sending over to Ukraine. Look, he's signing them. And he was acting like he didn't know what Vance is talking about. Oh, you went and campaigned with the opposition. That's what he's talking about.
Not only did that happen, but I believe Donald Trump tried to report this as foreign interference in this election. And by the way, repulsive, signing these bombs that are going to kill.
And yes, in the same outfit that you wear to the Oval Office, by the way, at the bomb factory.
He has one costume.
And of course,
it does like he has the same
also being
clothing.
The premise of the entire first sham impeachment against Donald Trump in the first place. So it's kind of worth noting that. But it also goes back to the point with Zelenskyy. You have no cards, bro. The only cards you have are the cards that President Trump is providing you, or the American people are providing you. Yeah. That's the only reason you're here in the first place. And for him to get all cheeky and talk about, oh, no, we're not playing cards here, like refusing to accept. It's like dealing with like a drunk, insolent teenager, trying to have a logical debate with him. And he's just being like, nyeh, 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 nyeh. And you can't be surprised that it ends up pissing off Donald Trump.
Yeah, and J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance.
Everybody else.
I think the role of Vance in this was so fascinating. The way he and Trump are tag teaming on this. And that they're both on the same America First page.
It's bad cop and better cop.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't ever see the vice president sitting into a meeting with the president in a meeting with a foreign leader. It's interesting. It's different.
Yeah, it's amazing. So no surprise, Democrats took that America First exchange that you just saw, and they're on the side of Zelenskyy.
Yeah, they twisted it.
President Trump wants to look tough. It's important for the American people to understand.
Fuck out of here.
Because of what happened today, we are all less safe. They're going to be happy about this. Putin and his cronies are probably popping champagne bottles right now.
What we just witnessed between Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and President Zelenskyy inside the White House was an ambush.
Oh, yeah, it's an ambush,
planned
man.
ambush
Fuck out of here.
Designed to embarrass President Zelenskyy in order to benefit Vladimir Putin. That was an embarrassment. That was an abomination.
The President of the United States is a coward who is Vladimir Putin's puppet. It's just embarrassing that the only hero in the Oval Office, the only decent human being for that matter, is the Ukrainian.
It's a very sad day and an embarrassment for the United States on the world stage. But let's step back and analyze what's happened here. I think there's no question that this was a setup. You heard Donald Trump say at the end of that clip you played, this is great television. This was a setup.
You know what? You know what was a setup?
Fuck out of here.
Susan Rice. Susan Rice set up this whole war. Susan Rice encouraged Zelenskyy to push for entering into NATO and sort of signal we might do that. And that, of course, ended up ticking off Putin and I think in many ways starting this invasion. And that's why Donald Trump has said, no, you're not going to be part of NATO in this deal. We're going to leave that as a neutral area. And also you're going to pay us back. The Europeans, you guys, are also sending messages similar to the Democrats saying, we stand with you, Zelenskyy. And I think it's interesting because what I see is that the American people
Go ahead
are not
and take
just
care of
seeing
them.
the ingratitude and sort of entitlement of Zelenskyy, but that actually is emblematic of the Europeans in general. They don't seem to care that we have our own problems here, that we have our own debt, that we have our own people to take care of.
We have our own border.
We have our own border that we're just now finally
Yeah, we have our own shit to worry about. We don't need to worry about Ukraine.
And for this guy to walk in here with that kind of attitude, I think is also a bad look for Europe in general, but also I think reflective of who they are.
And to all these Democratic
because Zelenskyy got
Democratic
no
lawmaker
place
points
to make
that this
demands.
was a big setup, and it's so embarrassing. White House officials insist to us it was not a setup, and somebody went on the Daily Mail, a White House official, to say Zelenskyy should not have gone after JD. But the bigger point about these Democrats, they have amnesia because, yes, this extraordinary moment played out on live TV. But this extraordinary moment also happened behind closed doors 2.5 years ago. NBC News, Halloween 2022, Joe Biden, had barely finished telling Zelenskyy he just green-lighted another $1 billion in U.S. military assistance for Ukraine when Zelenskyy started listing all the additional help he needed and wasn't getting. Biden lost his temper. People familiar with the call said the American people were being quite generous, and his administration and the U.S. military were working hard to help Ukraine, he said, raising his voice, and Zelenskyy could show a little more gratitude. If you swapped in the names Trump and Vance, that is pretty much exactly describing what we saw yesterday. They just, in politics, there's this rule, never the top people, they never really say sorry for anything.
I said that too.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that
I
was
said
a private
the same
call.
thing.
We heard that readout of it, but it's a whole other thing, isn't it, Charlie? Just seeing it, seeing his face, seeing his smirk, seeing him roll his eyes, seeing him refer to J.D. Vance, the vice president, as J.D., while J.D. refers to him as Mr. President, showing up in the Oval Office, wearing his military costume.
And sitting there like this. You sit there like this if you're in trouble for something, or if you're really worried about
the body language was something else, and the eye rolling and the huffing. It was the body language in and of itself was pretty amazing.
Well, he said, as Donald Trump said, you're gambling with World War III, Donald Trump.
All right, enough of this shit. All right. Man, this shit is. I don't know. It seems like Zelenskyy will not sit on the table with Putin and broker this peace deal. That's what it feels like. It just feels like that. All right, because Zelenskyy, I think, has a little bit of an ego problem, and he's scared. That's what it is. He's simply scared of the other side and the outcome of all this, and all he's worried about is security guarantees because he knows that he's done. All right, regardless, he's done. Anyhow, I just wanted to kind of conclude what went on Friday, and talked about what led to this heated exchange, to what the aftermath of it, I guess you could say, and what people's thoughts were, how he kind of just said, "Oh yeah, I'm thankful," but didn't really apologize for the disrespect. Notice that. And all he was just hammering about the security guarantee bullshit. I say, fuck all that. We're going to see what's going to happen here. But I got a feeling it seems like that he's not going to sit on the table with Putin for a peace deal. And I don't know. I just think that it's going to take longer than we think, because it's not really Putin. It's really Zelensky. All right, and he's the problem. I would just wash my hands. I mean, I'd be so done with this shit. I'd be like, you could keep everything we gave you. I'm leaving, and you could go back to Ukraine, and Russia will steamroll over you, and then we're all done with this shit, and move on. All right. So other than that, let me know what you think. Subscribe. All right. Hit the bell icon. Also, whichever is more convenient, Rumble, YouTube, or both. Hit them up. And other than that, thank you, and I'll see you next one.